Hello, everyone. What's this? A new video type? Yeah, so this is a new format I'd like to try out. So just a history. I used to write these things called RPG replays that were summaries of our tabletop games, like paraphrased versions, and then put them up online. A few people read them, but they were never really that popular. Eventually they got shortened down, animated, and that's where my D&D story series comes from. But I realized, like, hey, I could just read them out. Like, maybe people would like that. I don't know. If I just told a full campaign story from beginning to end, that seems pretty cool. But the trade-off is that it's going to have a more limited art style. And so the format is unusual because it's me paraphrasing and retelling a full D&D games one at a time. The one thing, though, is it's going to be long. I'm planning on doing one 20-minute episode per session, so we finish the campaign at 17 sessions. I might combine a few, but that would put it around 13 to 15 videos, something around there. We'll see. Once I start, I'm kind of committed to telling the full story. I'm about 3/5 of the way through the scripts, and it's 64 pages at 28,000 words, so yeah, it's going to be a long one. Also, this series is about the Cuse of Strahd module, so we're going to be spoiling the heck out of it. If you're planning on playing it, don't watch this, or just be aware if you don't care about spoilers. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of the disclaimer. Hope you guys enjoy the Shenanni-guys. Guess that's the name I'm going with. And the Cuse of Strahd. Okay, the group is starting out at 3rd level. Our story begins in the Forgotten Realms, your traditional fantasy setting. You guys are journeying somewhere, but on the road there, you all receive a distressed letter. Hail thee of might and valor. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, send honor to thee. We plead for thy so desperately needed assistance. The love of my life, Irina Kolyana, has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. She languishes from her wound, and I would have her saved from this menace. There's much wealth in this community. I offer all that might be had to thee and thy fellows, if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, for our time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine. Kolyana Indirovich, Burgomaster. So you guys were traveling to wherever, doesn't matter. And on the way there, you get someone asking for help, Irina, and you guys are going to be going to Barovia to assist them. There's a guy there, Aragal, who's a servant. He says he's been sent there to take you guys to Barovia. He's got a cart, he's the driver, if you accept his plea for help. So, introduce yourselves, and why are you going there? The first player, Boshak, is a lizard folk. He's like,
I don't really save people. Not a heroic character. I'm just in it for myself.
Did I mention there's money involved?
Never mind. Yes, I do save people.
The next player, Krusk, was your traditional half-orc Oath of Vengeance paladin.
There's evil. It must be punished.
Next up is me. I introduce my character. Hi, I'm Garo. I'm a cleric monk. Here to help. I worship Torm. Then we have our gnome wild magic sorcerer.
Hi, my name's Gouda.
This better not be some kind of pun shenanigans.
Gouda time.
Oh, I clearly am with the wrong group.
When you're with me, you're always gonna have a Gouda time.
And she does a pose, holding out her arm as a chunky burb climbs out onto it, doing the pose as well. The burb is her pet familiar, Snacks. Garo attempts to flee from the group, but I hear the metaphorical chink chink with the plot chain that ties us together.
I'm going because there's going to be a barbecue, and we're going to be getting hamburgers.
Where did you think hamburgers?
The Burger Master. Well, someone's got to be really good with their hamburgers to be considered the Burger Master.
Her brain does not work like the others. I suspect the little one is retarded.
Just a heads up, a burgomaster is a title some countries have for the leader of a city, like a mayor. Gotta bring this up now, that way there's no confusion later. We meet up with the cart that's going to take us into the land of Barovia. Our driver is Aragal, a Vistani. The Vistani are a human race. They're kind of like gypsies. They have witches, place hexes on people, steal things. They're unwelcome in most towns because of their notoriety, instead traveling from place to place as drifters. Garo asked the driver, how far is it to Barovia?
Not as far as one might think.
Yeah, because I've never heard of this place. As we journeyed, the fogs started to slowly swell around us, and before we knew it, we arrived at the stone gates. It seems like we were magically transported through the mist to these lands. We had to be. We hadn't traveled far enough to actually get outside of the Forgotten Realms that fast.
Is Curse of Strahd an isekai anime? I mean, we're getting transported to this magical, fantastical world.
I mean, kind of. You're not wrong. The country of Barovia is in a valley between two mountain ranges. We arrive at one end of the valley, where towering stone gates, hundreds of feet tall, loom over us. Our driver, Aragal, splits up with us here, dropping us off. The group passes underneath the hulking stone gates, which are haunting and abandoned, weathered with hundreds of years of decay. After we enter, the gates slam shut behind us, locking the group in, despite us not seeing anyone. Boshak is thinking,
I mean, we know what magic is. It's not that creepy that there's no one there.
It's still a little creepy, right? As we traveled, we heard howling in the forest and the caw-caw of crows. It's constantly dark and gray overhead, with heavy charcoal-tipped clouds. Farther along the road, we see a man across the side who's been killed a while ago. His body is covered with slash marks from wolves. On his body, we find a note.
Hail thee of might and valor. I, the Burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor. With despair, my adopted daughter, the fair Irina Kolyana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead, and encircle this land with the symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves, and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Kolyana Indirovich, Burgomaster.
We find out that this man is a servant of the Burgomaster, but you notice that while the letters are both signed by the Burgomaster, they're written in different handwriting.
It's fucking Strahd!
Spoiler! He's on the cover. It's not a spoiler. Hey, we technically don't know that he exists yet. While we as players know, our characters don't know that yet. What we do know so far is that there's two letters supposedly from the Burgomaster in different handwriting, no less. It looks like someone made a fake letter on behalf of the Burgomaster to lure us in. The person with the actual letter got ambushed and died. I assume vampire is just a fancy way of saying vampire. We know that Strahd's in the story at some point, so maybe he did it, maybe not. We don't know. I mean, really, when you think about it, like, we're the real bad guys in this situation, because here we are assuming that someone's showing up, they got pricks in their neck, they're missing blood, and it's just common stereotyping to just look at the vampire and just assume it's them. I thought we were past this as a society. As we continue our journey, we eventually arrive at a small, gloomy town, which is quiet, save for one frail elderly woman selling pastries.
Pastries? I have pastries for sale. They give you sweet dreams.
Excuse me, ma'am, but where is this place exactly?
Oh, strangers. You're not from around here, are you?
No, we just arrived.
You are in the lands of Barovia, in the village of Barovia.
Yeah, that's not going to get confusing.
What an unfortunate thing to have brought you here,
she says solemnly.
I'm afraid here you are nothing more than a prisoner of Count Strahd von Zarovich, Lord of Barovia.
She points up to the castle.
Strahd watches everyone from his lair, the castle of Ravenloft.
Looming over the town is the massive castle, perched on the stone crags with sheer cliffs on either side, and a drawbridge crossing over to it. A bolt of lightning strikes the highest parapet, lighting the place up, and the crackle of thunder echoes in the distance.
Oh, that's spoopy, very spoopy.
Strahd cannot leave this land himself, but he has the power to let people come and go as he wishes. The only people who have permission to leave are the Vistani, a race of people who wander the lands and have home nowhere else, whom he owes a life debt to. I'm afraid you're trapped here, just as much as all of us are.
Thank you for your help, ma'am. If there's any way to repay you, I believe we'd like some of your pastries.
Pastries?
Gouda says.
These aren't normal pastries. They're dream pastries. Eat one before you go to sleep, and it will give you sweet dreams.
All the players bought pastries from the elderly lady and put them into their bags. We go down the road and see some kids out on the street crying. The names of the two kids are Rose and Thorn. From talking to them, what we discover is that they are outside because there's a monster in the house. The second they mention, hey, there's a monster in there, our paladin says, monster, and goes charging in, sword held aloft. No evil will escape my wrath. Boshak was not happy about this.
We're supposed to be making money, but have yet to see anything yet.
Guess we're on a side quest now. We enter the house. The place is abandoned, with a heavy layer of dust covering the furniture. No one's been in here in a while. When we look outside to the street, we notice the kids are gone. Seems like they might have been some kind of spirit or apparition. We do notice some other strange things, like all the art pieces on the walls will often have grim undertones. There's a mural with kids playing with butterflies, but on closer inspection the kids are running away from swarms of bees, or a mural of nymphs and satyrs. But looking closer, the gardens they are on reveal hidden serpents and skulls in their supposedly peaceful garden. As we're exploring, we start rooting around in some rooms that we weren't supposed to and get attacked by a specter in an animated armor. The fight goes south pretty quickly and we realize that we're outmatched as one player goes down. The rest of us realize the problem and hide in the closet, keeping quiet while we hear the armor slink away. We have to basically fight them at a distance to stand a chance. Once we take care of them, we continue exploring and find a letter sent to the Durst family from Strahd. Strahd laughs at them for sacrificing people to appease their dark lords, and that while the family worships him as their dark messiah, he sees their cultish activities as pathetic, really, and sad. We notice that the handwriting of the fake letter we were given is the same as the one from Strahd von Zarevich. So now we know a few things. One, it was Strahd who sent us the fake letter. Now our characters know. And two, apparently this group was doing human sacrifices and weird culty shit. Searching the upper bedrooms, you hear crying coming from the baby's crib. Kruska's like,
Fucking baby coats. Two worst things. Put them together.
we find a room which is strangely locked from the outside and need a key to get in. Within is a windowless room, strewn about with children's toys and several small beds that seem child-sized. Oh no, this is bad. You notice that there are several scratch marks on the door of small hands. It seems like someone was locked inside and trying to get out by scratching at the door. Oh no. Against the wall, huddled under blankets and in each other's arms, are the remains of two children's corpses that died a long time ago from starvation. I'm backing out of that shit.
Please, don't leave us.
Two ghosts appear, the little boy Thorn and his older sister, Rose. What happened to you guys?
Our mommy and daddy said there's a monster in the basement. They said they wanted to keep us safe. They said they'd leave us here, locked inside, and come back later. But they never came back.
We'll be back. Don't worry, I say. I offer up a prayer to Torm over their bodies. We go downstairs to the basement. You hear some strange chanting coming from farther in there. Inside, you see the crypts for the entire family. I see what we're supposed to do here. We go back upstairs, take the bodies, and put them into the crypts. They say,
But wait, before I go,
Rose says,
please, I never really got to see the world. Can you take a piece of me to go with you? Sure.
Gouda says. She takes a bit of her finger.
Thank you.
Rose says, and she and Thorn drift off and are gone. Well, that's 2 down. There's 3 tombs still empty, the mom, the dad, and the baby. As we explore some more, we get jumped by a group of ghouls.
Do you think we should long rest?
Long rest? Here? In this house? No way! Not when we're in so far, I tell them. With 5 hit points, I throw open the door to the next room. Inside, you see a woman you recognize as the lady of the house. Her face is pale and eyes bloodshot. She is definitely an undead of some kind.
You are unwelcome in this house.
What are you talking about? I say, I'm with you guys. I just joined. I'm a new recruit. I just joined up with the cult. I got let in by your husband. Don't even know what's going on in your own house, do you? She sneers.
My husband is dead.
Fuck. She claws Garo once in the throat. Welp, I'm down. And then pulls your beating heart out and bites into it. Ah, I'm very dead. And that was the end of Garo. My friends rush over to help me, but by the time they're there, it's already too late. Garo is on the ground in a pool of his own blood, with his heart removed. Player me has already pulled out a character sheet and started writing on it.
We'll save you, Garo.
I think I'm going to be a ranger next time. While they're beating her up, I start statting out my new character. Stan Velsing, vampire and werewolf hunter. You know, really the whole cleric-monk combo wasn't that great. I think Mono Ranger is going to be fine. I start asking questions to the DM like, okay, how are we going to work him into the story? Like, is he on the street and he hears something in a house and he decides to go investigate, or was he just captured and there already? Just give me a second, Ben. The DM says, you're not quite done. We cut over to my dead Garo, who wakes up. He's surrounded by mists. He's floating weightlessly in the air. Beneath him is a lake with water reflecting like a massive mirror. Beyond is a vibrant forest. A woman comes to him, surrounded by swirling leaves. You can tell Garo she's a dryad, with yellow bark skin, leaves, and flowers growing out from her hair.
Greetings, Garo.
What's up, ghost lady?
I am a spirit that guards the lands of Barovia. A long time ago, this place was vibrant and full of life as you see it now. But the place became cursed, descending into darkness and evil. The birds have fled, the grass withers, and the trees cry out in pain. You are an outsider to this place. I can restore your life with the last small kindles of my power that barely flicker. But in return, you must promise me to undo the curse that warps this country and restore it back to how it once was.
Oh, yeah, totally. Cool. I can do that. No problem. Cutting back to the group, you notice Garo's body stand up. That's a zombie! No, I'm back. His wound has been closed up, and you notice that his skin is now bark and there's leaves growing in his hair. Almost like he has a permanent bark skin, which, now that I look at it, doesn't affect him because his AC is already 16. Oh, that's nice. She gave me a gift. Too bad her gift was useless. No. Also, you have Druidcraft and Thorn Whip. Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. Whoosh! Garo cracks the whip. We take all of the bodies and put them into the tombs, laying them to rest one by one. However, there's still one body remaining. The baby, Walter. The group continues deeper into the spoopy basement. Following the strange chanting, we arrived in a massive chamber hall. In the center is a raised platform. Shadows move along the walls, muttering to themselves and slink away from you as you approach. When you step onto the center platform, the portcullis behind you slams down, sealing the group in. You hear the chanting rise, saying, "One must die, one must die, one must die, one must die, one must die." A mound of flesh rises out from the waters and shambles over to the group. The thing is a misshapen, warped monster of mouths, muscles, and bones. This is the leftover body of the baby, warped and claimed by the dark powers to be an unholy abomination. Not to freak you guys out or anything, but I've played this adventure before, the Death House, and this is the room I lost my last character in. The group fights with the baby abomination and wins. We turn to the watching spirits and go, "Are you not entertained?" Once the battle is over, the chanting ends, the spirits dissipate, and the portcullis raises up. We take the bodies up to the mounds. I place them on their spots, say some words as prayer to my god Torm, and we take our leave. Before we go, we also find a deed, meaning the house is technically ours if we wanted. Since we cleared the Mansion of Ghosts, it's safe, and no one will be killed here again. For now. They could be killed by other people there, or other ghosts. Let's be honest, there probably will be, but not those specific ghosts. It's Barovia, let's be frank. There are probably more haunted houses than regular houses here. Well, that was a detour. What were we trying to do again? We were trying to find Irina Kolyana. Oh yeah, right. The letter saying like, please help her, she's in trouble, leave us for dead, etc. Next order of business is to find Irina. Gouda was upset about something.
We've been at this town for hours, and we have yet to get any amazing burgers.
I don't have the heart to tell her.
We talk a little in town and discover some more information. Mostly, everyone hates Strahd, but he is too powerful to defeat. A year ago, the villagers all rose up with pitchforks and tried to raid the castle led by a wizard. However, the wizard was defeated and his body thrown off the rocks and down to the river below, and was never seen again. Since then, the people have been especially bitter. Their fleeting hopes had risen, only to be dashed away. Oh, okay, it's starting to make sense now. The burgomaster was sending out a letter that was like, Strahd's too difficult to conquer, leave us for dead, don't come here. So that was after the failed rebellion. All right, it's all coming together. In town, we also get a side quest where we discover a woman who's looking for her missing children. The child's name is Gertruda. We talk to her dog Lancelot, who says that she was taken to a windmill. We take the dog with us. So now we have a new mission. Find the windmill, find the missing girl, Gertruda, on top of our other objectives. Find Irina. We eventually meet up with Ismark.
Greetings, I'm Ismark. Since my father's death, I'm the current burgomaster of the village of Barovia. My sister, Irina, has been attacked every night by undead and wolves. We received a letter from Strahd saying that he's after her. He seems to be infatuated with her, and once he sets his sight on someone, he never lets them go. Please, you have to help us get her out of the village of Barovia and to Vallaki. She'll be safe there, out from under the shadow of Castle Ravenloft.
All right, new mission unlocked. We got you covered. Before we leave the village of Barovia, we go to the church and bury the body of Irina's father. I, as a cleric, offer up a prayer. As we're performing the funeral, we notice that there's a man approaching us. Irina becomes very pissed off and says,
You! What do you think you're doing here?
My master always pays his respects to his servants.
You were the ones who killed him,
Irina says.
It was not my master that killed your father, but his own hubris.
The newcomer looks to us.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Rahadin, servant of Lord Strahd von Zarovich.
As he comes closer to you guys, you notice that in your heads, you can hear screams emanating from him. I'm sorry, what? Screams?
Yes, there are these noises that follow me around. Screams. I am always followed by the sounds of the screams from the people that have died by my hands just before they perished.
Ah, I say, Garo, you can hear. It sounds like there's a lot of voices. Rahadin puts his head down.
I see I am unwelcome here, so my master says farewell to his servant.
He nods to the grave of Irina's father.
And greetings to your new friends.
Rahadin nods to the rest of the group. There's an awkward silence as he walks back to his carriage.
Oh, and one more thing, Irina. No matter how far you think you can run, my master is coming to claim you. Wherever you think you can run to, wherever you think you can hide, it will all fail you.
And the group just watches him leave. We could tell the tension didn't release until he was out of eyesight. After we finish the burial and the last rites, we leave the town of Barovia, out of the shadow of Castle Ravenloft. Traveling through the wilds, the trees are old and withered, with their barren branches reaching out to us. We pass by old abandoned houses and a gallows with a body hanging from it. As we passed, the body turned around and we saw Gouda's body in the noose. When we looked back, the body was gone. Also, just to remind you guys, I've played the first part of Curse of Strahd, the House of Death, so I knew some of the things up to this point, but most everything past here, except for a few spoilers, is a mystery. The group arrive at a Vistani camp, a circle of wagons with a roaring fire in the center. The Vistani approach the group.
You are welcome to our home. Please rest for a night here. Our sage, Madame Eva, says she has been expecting you, that you are welcome guests, and wishes to read your fortune. She is quite powerful, and her visions can help you on your journey.
We are shown into the fortune teller's tent.
Welcome, welcome, travelers. It is wonderful to finally meet you. I have seen you in my visions for some time. They call me Madame Eva. I know why you have come to this dark land.
You are on a perilous journey, and your future riddled with the cracks and perils that seek to draw you down into oblivion. But I know that there are many things that may guide you on your path.
She starts drawing cards from the deck of fortunes.
For you, Gouda, the gnome with a large heart and an equally large stomach, what I see is... the wizard. Knowledge of the ancients will better help you know your enemy. Boshak, the lizard folk with a grudge, seeking power to bring retribution to his enemies. What I see in your future is... the beggar. A wounded elf has what you seek. He will part with the treasure to see his dark dreams fulfilled.
Power is what I seek. If he has what I'm after, then I will pursue it to any end.
For you, Garo, your road took an unexpected turn quite suddenly, but ahead, I see, the Temptress.
Oh, great. Just what I need. I took a vow against this kind of thing.
You will meet a woman in an abbey who is more than the sum of her parts. For you, Krusk, one who seeks to bring justice to an unjust world, I see... Artifact. Look for an entertaining man with a monkey. He is more than he seems.
She continued drawing from the deck.
The monk.
That's me. We already have that.
A treasure is hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint. The broken one. Your greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his magic is strong. Dungeon. Search for a troubled young man surrounded by wealth. His home is his own prison. The Dark Lord. Unfortunately, I cannot see this. My powers are clouded. You need the help of another Vistani to find the answers you seek.
We thank her for the fortune she read and leave. Just before bed, we eat the pastries we got from the elderly woman. The sweets work just as she said, giving us lovely dreams of warm sun, open fields, and laughter. As we're carried off to the new day by the pleasant dreams of somewhere more hopeful and bright than here, that was where our session ended.